guys, welcome back to another episode of the Whiskey Diaries. My name is Martin Lang, we're here at Death and Taxes, and today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite whiskies of all time, the Balvenie. Now, the Balvenie was established in 1892. It's part of the Glenfiddich or the William Grant's family. So William Grant's is, at the moment, is one of the last remaining family-owned whiskey distilleries. They own a few distilleries themselves, and they create a few products as well. So they have Hendrick's and Cellar Jerry rum as well, Glenfiddich, Balvenie, then the Grants as well, and there's a couple of other things that they do here and there. But the Balvenie Distillery is next door to Glenfiddich. I've been to both of them a couple of times, and I was lucky enough to stay at the touring house, which is basically the guest house that is part of the family house as well, where they receive all the guests and stuff. It's an actually beautiful distillery, one of the most beautiful distilleries I've been to, and they have everything on site. They can produce their own barley, they have their own malting floors, they have a cooperage. They actually cooperage, they don't use the cooperage in Dufftown, they actually use their own, and they you can see them working day and night there. They produce, I consider Balvenie to be kind of like the boutique version of Glenfiddich. Glenfiddich does a very straightforward, easy drinking, normal day-to-day whiskey. Balvenie is a little bit more experimentation, and they do a lot of different casks, and it's kind of like more creative. I personally believe that it's a little bit more creative than Glenfiddich. This one in particular that we're going to be talking about is the Balvenie the Caribbean Cask. Now, Balvenie was, as I said, established in 1892, and David Stewart, the master distiller that became master distillers in 1962, he's the one who is accredited to creation of finishing barrels. What basically is aging a certain whiskey for a certain period of time, basically let's just say American oak, and then transferring the whiskey for another certain period of time into different barrels for different finishes like sherry, bourbon, rum, whatever it is. Now this one has Caribbean cask in the label. Previously it used to be rum casks, and then there was another previous name I can't remember, but they had to change it to Cuban cask. That's the one. So in America they weren't allowed to sell the whiskey because it had Cuban on the label because of the embargo. That now doesn't exist anymore, but back then they had to change the labels. Basically, the rum casks actually come from Cuba. They do not tell you what they do with the rum once they get to the distillery, but I know for a fact that they sell it to independent bottlers to bottle as whatever rum they want to put it. Now, rum cask, what it does to a whiskey is, because rum is aged in American oak, it adds an extra layer of sweetness. What I think, if I'm correct, this whiskey is aged for 12 years and then an extra 2 years in Caribbean cask or Cuban cask or rum cask, whatever you want to put it at. So there it goes. This is actually delicious whiskey as well, 43% ABV. And if you do like rum as well as whiskey, which is quite a weird companion if you want to put it that way, it actually does great for this whiskey because it's not a bad sweetness. It's not like, oh my god, like it's rum sweetness. It's kind of like more like accentuates the vanillas and the toffees from the bourbon casks as well. Oh yeah, that's delicious. You can also obviously taste the backbone of Balvenie, but it's like a sweetness. It's like really heavy palate as well, but not in a bad way. Not in a bad way. This is really well balanced whiskey, and it's almost like desserty. Like you could probably have this as dessert with some chocolate cake or something. It's actually delicious. Yeah, so definitely toffee, vanilla, caramel. A little bit of spiciness as well, but yeah, it's a great whiskey from Balvenie that I believe that just don't do a bad whiskey. So anyway, hope you enjoy the video. Please make sure you put some comments if you want any specific whiskies reviewed, and we'll see you next time. Salam Chapa.